all good to go. Recording is live, and we're here in the Discord as well as on Twitch, YouTube, and in our hearts. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the free live stream chat channel. I do apologize for my voice. I am very, very sick. Sinus, chest congestion, all that good stuff. So post-nasal. If I have to cough a lot, I'll try to mute, but I apologize in advance if that goes all in your ears. So I'm looking at Amazon right here. The only trade right now for Amazon, for those who might be watching this historically, they just had their 20-for-1 split. So they went from up here around $2,400 down to $122 this morning. So big action, right? So now we're down here in the $125 range, but this still has the sentiment of a it's essentially going to be treated as a meme stock temporarily because there's so much speculation, so much hype on this. So the only real setup here is going to be the volatility. It's not going to be a long buy. Typically when these things happen, at least in my opinion, you're going to see some sort of dramatic pullback over the course of maybe about 3 days probably. And that's because all the people who are loading up pre-split are going to start to lock in their profits, right? They're going to try to capitalize on some of this move. Just like any impulse or any kind of surge in volatility, it becomes a race to who's going to get out first. So the reason for that is also kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, which we teach about in the Pennybois University. We're going to have this pullback, and then everyone knows they're going to get a better deal. So they're also going to pull back. So it's just a big cycle. But we can capitalize on that. So right here, I have the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart up. So right here, we have this little temporary resistance. I don't really think anyone's going to respect this level, but we'll draw it out just for fun, right? We like to do things for fun around here. If I can draw, what's going on with my tools? Hotkeys get messed up again. Oh, they did. Look at that. All right. So, oh no, they didn't. Interesting. Sorry about that. My drawing went away for a second. There we go. I like to see that pencil. Okay, so we'll see if it can break over that. And you guys see how small that is in the grand scheme of things. Jackal, I love you. Equal and opposite, like Newton said. Yeah, so we'll see if this gets beat down here, at which point we will have failed shallow pullback. So it's probably going to be a hard sell-off. So we'll watch them fail this level here. And then I think a lot of people are going to try to watch this area thinking it's going to bounce here. So if it does, it's probably just FOMO. We'll probably come right back up to this level, then fall back down. So let's go ahead and watch the order book and see what's going to happen here. 125.15, 125.17, 20. Let's see here. So let me erase these lines. I'm going to watch. Oops. It's hard to draw these if you don't have your hand on the right keyboard. So right here, you can see a trap floor here at 125.22. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that one. So I have a line drawn it here at 125.16. That was the precursor wall. And we'll watch this 125.22 wall. Specifically, I'm looking at the numbers. It's 10,000. Now it's my Weeble settings, man. Now it's 125.30. 125.22 got chopped. So now let's look at the ask side. So I see one at 125.70 and 125.90. So we'll see. We'll draw a line right here. And that looks like a pretty decent short-term accumulation range. So I don't think it's going to break up or down. It's probably going to hover around here for a little bit, and then I think it's going to come down eventually. Just a forecast. It's not financial advice. I just want to see which way it goes. But this is what the volume is telling me. Of course, this is a big catalyst, so you kind of have to take technical analysis and separate it. And realize it's just a set of tools we can use to measure probability. That's not a guarantee. But I feel like a lot of these speculators are going to be trading this little gap right here, this distribution gap. So there's obviously going to be a Momo gap above and below, probably down to about here. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to catch. And then, of course, we have a smaller one up here, but I don't think that's going to be quite as popular. So we'll watch that one and make that purple. But this is my prediction right here. It's going to come down. Land in there. And then I think it's going to come down harder. And I think it's going to fail this level. So we'll see. Patrick, good morning. How's it going? We got to get you in StreamYard, man, so everyone can hear you. It's going. I'm sick. Are you sick? Let's all be sick. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, no. That's not good. You got to pack quick. Yeah. This is FOMO. Oh. Oh, no. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it's getting rejected hard. Sorry. There it goes. Bye-bye. Amazon just got slapped down hard here. That's not sustainable. So just to recap for the recording, because Patrick's voice won't show up in the recording, Patrick is saying that he's gotten a lot of DMs since everyone knows he trades Amazon quite a bit, saying that they're going all in on Amazon. And he said that he strongly discourages that because he's got one call as a day trade, and he's very cautious about that. But he's going to be watching Google more. We can't trust Amazon right now, right? That was a major catalyst, a huge price reduction. It's going to trap a lot of people. That's just how these things are, especially on these bigger stocks. It's very rare to see a 20-for-1, but it doesn't mean that they don't happen. Amazon was just too oversaturated as a stock for the market, and it was just brought down to a more reasonable level, but it was a little lower than it should be, I think. But that doesn't mean it's going to go straight up to hit the target, right? We gotta wait and see all the emotional traders get in and get out, and then there's going to be a lot of people exploiting that, like us, and are going to be taking advantage of this volatility and this FOMO. These people that are buying right here are just going to get trapped, I believe. If it does run, that's great, but there's definitely more opportunity for this just to be a run up and then a slam down. So we'll see. Looks like it broke out to the upside so far, though. But yeah, I mean, it's super, super risky. And that's the whole point of what we do here is if you can't trade something with certainty, you definitely don't want to go all in on it, right? You have to be able to justify these things. So since this is broken, let's go ahead and measure that. Well, we'll use fibs for that. Since this is an emotional impulse, we can use an emotional indicator. So it came back down, touched the 50 exactly. So let's go ahead and grab our retrace tool to find a target, or our extension, I'm sorry. Okay, so we got that level, and then we got this level right here. Okay, so we're already past the target where it should be. So it was this line right here, 126.26. So anything beyond that is unreasonable. So we'll see what happens. This is a potential 3-bar if it goes up, but I don't think it's going to. I'm extremely bearish on this today. Of course, there's going to be volatility. So it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. I'm looking at this one in about 3 days. I'm not going to try to trade it today unless I'm actively scalping, which I won't be doing on stream because I really need to pay attention when I do that. But what I can do is go to the 3 and the 1 minute. So this is the 1 minute chart. Please don't ever use the 1 minute chart to trade exclusively. It's very risky. This and the 3 minute should be treated more as an X-ray to show you potential fractures and breaks on the higher time frames. So you want to typically identify your setups on at least the 5 or 15 minute for day trades, in my opinion, because you don't really want to buy into a resistance level that you're not aware of. And you don't want to get blindsided by an overall setup peeking out that you weren't aware of because you didn't take the time to look at the higher time frames. So I'm just showing you the 1 and the 3 minute so that we can study this this behavior in this stock. So here we have a little double top setup, and for those who are familiar with this setup, let's go ahead and draw it out. Right, we got the initial leg, the bounce, the second leg. I'm not going to count this wick because it's craziness. So we should see something around here. Oops, I drew an extra line. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. I'll move it over here. It's out of the way now. So we have confluence, right? We're showing weakness at this resistance level. It poked over, but it fell back below pretty quick. So double top setup should come to fruition. If it drops below right back here into this momentum gap, that's bad news bears, because that's already compounded confluence, because you got the double top setup along with the volume Momo gap. So we'll see, and a hard rejection at resistance. So we'll see what happens there. I'm rooting for the underdogs, all the FOMO buyers, but I don't want it to be us. This is almost exclusively scalp territory, in my opinion. And if you look at these candles, they're not worth it, right? 0.22%, 0.1%, 0.18%, 0.36%. I mean, typically scalps are very small, but this is more like algo range, right? You don't want to try to trade these kind of candles by hand. You want to try to trade these that are above like 0.5%. This is just kind of, this will stress you out, and you're not going to get very far. So don't do that to yourself. Unless it's your plan. If that's your plan, go for it. But I think it should stay in this range quite a bit until a clear direction is decided. Also, I forgot to mention, Patrick's son is very sick. Oh, he left. He's probably go cleaning up after the kid. Does anyone have any questions? If you do, feel free to type them in the live stream chat channel, or free live stream chat. I'm sorry. I'm also going to keep an eye on the Twitch and YouTube. Is anyone currently trading Amazon? It's okay if you are. I'm just curious what you guys think is going to happen. And while we're waiting for that to fall down, ABC123 said nope. So here's our schedule. So right now it's the 9:45 free live stream on YouTube and in the Discord and Twitch. So if you're a free member, you're not in our Discord, you're welcome to join us. The link is on the bottom of the recording, the YouTube stream right now. It's discord.gg/pennybois. If you are a free member and you're here, these are the rest of the events that you guys will have access to throughout the week. If you're a premium member, you have access to all these plus all of these. I think it's like 22 or 24 events total. And then, of course, game night and our James Legends live stream for options in the lounge on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. So we'll see. It needs to like confirm outside this box and maybe retest this trend line. Snowflake, you want to buy puts on Amazon so bad, but you're waiting patiently. So here's the thing, right? When you're dealing with hyper attentive stocks like this that have a ton of FOMO and a bunch of emotion on it, that IV is going to kill you in most cases, whether it goes up or down. That's really where you got to be careful, because if you look at these options, right, these premiums are probably going to be pretty overinflated. I mean, if you're looking at 11 days out, let's look at the puts here. You know, all these are really high for $126 stock. I mean, if you think about that, I got to change this down to like 10 or something. You know, this is not, it's not something I'd want to pay, right? It's just not worth it yet, because the goal for options is not just to be profitable, but to be efficient, right? Because you got to have that risk reward there. So, you know, even if you do buy a put, it's not enough that it just hits the strike by the expiration date. It's got to outperform that fall off on IV, which somehow has disappeared. You know, it's got to, because remember, every 1% change in implied volatility, which is this number right here, the Vega is going to be it's going to manipulate the premium. So you got to be careful with those super popular moves. Breckle was a little late. How long do these splits usually take to let the dust settle? It depends. I mean, this is kind of a one-off, right? It's a huge stock. It's a huge, well-known stock, and it did a 20 for 1. So it might take a little longer. It might take a little less. I'm personally, just as a rule, I don't like to look at these for more than I don't like to look at them for about 2 or 3 days for any kind of intent. But ultimately, it depends on the stock, right? That's what's going to tell us when the bottom is found and validated. I do believe we're coming back down below this price. It's just a matter of how soon this FOMO and stuff falls off. So when we see a confirmation to the downside, that's when we can watch. And then when we see a confirmation to the upside, that's when we can watch in that direction. What's that? What's up? Was that you, crazy ones? What's going on, bud? Uh-oh. Well, it's FOMO, man. It's this was a good candle for scalpers. It's all about the emotions, right? So if we were to measure this, right, it came back, touched the 50 exactly. So we know when that happens. Let's draw an 11.8. All right, and I'll just uncheck everything else. Right, I'm gonna guess it's gonna hit that line and probably fall back down. So I hit the line. Let's get real close to it. Well, maybe it'll push higher. That'd be cool. It's gonna prove me wrong on live stream. Ouch. Well, that's good. So this is the level of sanity right here. So anything above this is high risk. That's just you measure a impulse, you measure the correction, and then use the Fibonacci extension to find the correlating target. And that's the quote-unquote safe trade, right? I accidentally moved my trend line. Uh-oh. I'll just get rid of it. We don't need it. Too lazy to redraw it. I mean, if we hide these drawings and we look right here, I mean, this is a huge push. It's not justified, and there's not really a lot of volume on it. It's 2 million. Yeah, it's about 2 to 3 million at max. Let's go ahead and get the... I wonder if Webull adjusts the volume. They do not. I was wondering if Webull adjusted the volume for splits and stuff. Let's do the 90-day. I don't. Guess we'll leave that one on there. What was it? 126.90, I think it was. Somewhere around there. This is cool. Snowflake, what'd you do this weekend? I'm definitely singling you out. You had homework to do something this weekend. Huge investment in your future. Oh, that investment. I wasn't even... I swear I wasn't even talking about that. That was not like a sales pitch thing. I'm sorry. But I am really, really glad you're with us for that, for Lifetime Man. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing you here in 5 years, right? I know we'll be here. I want to make sure you're here too. Or at least in the market. 90 day. Look at that. This is no bueno, guys. Challenge accepted, Snowflake. If I ever do get tired of seeing you here in the next 5 years, screenshot that and throw it in my face. What do we got? Another 0.7. Maybe 0.3. See if we can look at the order book here. Come on. About another 9 cents. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. We got Nikki. We got Nefeli here. Crazy ones. How's it going? Oh, good morning. You guys are so active today. You missed game night. You're grounded for a week. Oh, no. I don't think you could fail that game. I think we all failed. That was hard. It was fun, though. Bum, bum, bum. Who knows this pattern? All right, which one of our PBU kids can call this out? Oh, no, Biku, you slept through it. That's okay. We'll have another one every week. I think I still like the Scriblio. I like Scriblio, and yeah, I think it's just a little bit. Well, you know what the problem is. So with Scriblio, I can eat at the same time, and I tend to get food at that time. Boom, it's filling out. Look at that. So now if we see a red candle, that'll validate this pattern. This pattern is not validated yet till we see a confirmation. Once we see a confirmation, this gets a name. And I want... oh, you woke up at midnight? Ooh, been there, man. Ugh. That's okay. You're just getting a jump start on your Sunday. Oh, someone on Twitch asked me if I want to feel more popular, and they gave me a promo code. I think I should go for it. It's not spam at all. They're genuinely interested in me becoming popular. So nice of them. So, oh, that's a really weak confirmation. I don't believe that. Nice try, market. You guys see this? So this pattern. Oh, I think my Weeble's about to crash. Yep. I exposed them and they crashed my system. That's awesome. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible way I put up with here. Let's go back to the line. All right, yeah. See, that is. This is where technical analysis does not fit. Jeez. Are we on 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, yeah. And it's after 10, so this will be interesting. I'm just waiting for the slap down. Oh, let me erase this line here. We don't need that. So as I was saying, this pattern right here is one that we teach in the PBU, and the confirmation is a it's supposed to be a red candle below this one, below the close of this previous red candle. But this just does not count. It's like a 0.05% candle. Highly contentious, though. But yeah, that does not qualify. So what I would like to see is a big fat red candle like this. Right over here. That'd be nice. All right, so let me just erase all these. Boop, since that doesn't work anymore. So if you were someone who is trading this to the upside, we can always use a, you can use partial stops, right? So here is the, like the main stop loss for the majority of our position, or the remainder of our position, I should say. And then this would be a partial stop loss. This is kind of how I like to trade stuff like this to keep myself in the trade. So each new candle that forms, so if we walk through this over time, right? So say we bought on this candle, or maybe we bought back here or something. We saw that it was holding this level. Maybe we bought here on this candle, right? So the stop loss would then go below whatever point we value below the previous low. So whether you add an ATR to it, whatever your particular strategy is. And then every time a new candle forms, so in this case, this candle would form, this candle closes, we could set a partial stop loss right below that. When that candle, that red one, closes and a new one opens, you can move that partial stop loss up. And then that candle closes and that one opens, you move that candle up. That one closes, that one opens, you move that candle up. And so on and so forth, right? And this is how you can capture an impulse. And then, of course, if you see a giant green candle, you can always lock profits at the top of that one as well. So right now, sorry, we're still watching this this impulse form here. And we know that 8 to 10 is kind of the sweet range for impulses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're kind of in the range. 9 is obviously the perfect number. Let's make that one a bright yellow, make it nice and fat. And then we'll make these dashed lines so that we can kind of keep track. And we'll make them a little bit darker. Right, because this is kind of the this is how you squeeze the most out of an impulse as safely as you possibly can. So let's go ahead and get our fib ready, our Fibonacci tool ready. Okay, if I can draw it, there we go. All right. So when this candle closes, well, I'm just going to erase the fib right here because we want to redraw that on the way back. So when the stock turns around and starts pulling back, that's when I want to draw my fib tool. So it's struggling to get higher. We got 128.25, 21.12 wall. So watch that. It got pulled early. That's interesting. So this is all just algos fighting. This is not real people. Well, they're in there, but it's a series of volume threshold tests and stuff. So they're just seeing how many shares can be sold, how quickly, and at what levels. And then that's how the algos determine, for the most part, how much is bought or sold, or how high the price is allowed to go. Be Rich, is that a doji? Did you mean back here? This is more of a, I was looking at the 3 candles here, if that's what you're referring to. Sorry, I just saw that you asked that. Yeah, so this 3 candle pattern here is what I was referring to. And then this is a gravestone doji, this one right here. So this is more of a, it's like this is a neutral doji. This is more of an inverted hammer. And then this one, again, was where we wanted that confirmation to happen. But this is a gravestone doji. Which still shows weakness to the upside. So it's not necessarily a guaranteed reversal, but it is something that we can use for, ooh, that was interesting. So now the stop would go up below this candle. So what's the low on this? It's 127.47. Ours 127.45. Okay, so this candle right here, I'm expecting a pullback. So we'll see if it can fall down. And then we're going to measure that pullback to assess what kind of continuation it is. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let me zoom out just a little bit. And this is the 5-minute chart that I was establishing this 8 to 10 candles on. So here's where a lot of stops would be hit, right in this area. So we'll see if we can get a bounce here or if it's just going to keep pushing down. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so now we can measure it. It's kind of on its way back down. So what is this? 124.01 up to 128.40. I'm just going to draw it over here so I don't have to fight with the lines. Okay, so we've got our bread basket right here. That's kind of our test zone. Okay, and now we know that we can pull out the extension tool since this is pretty much validated. That's a really hard pullback. That's all we really need for what we were doing. Okay, and then 128.40. Okay, and then, doop. Oh, all right, whatever. And then we just need to move this to wherever that actual the low was. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. We'll just come over to this candle here, and I'm just going to look at this number right here as it changes on this candle. So 126.42 so far is the low. Okay, 126.42. Oops. I gotta turn the magnet off. Boop. 126.42. Okay. And then we just got to look for the corresponding target on the extension. In this case, it's a very shallow pullback. So typically when that happens, if there's good volume, which is kind of weak right now, we typically see a faster, harder run up and then a harder sell off later. Okay, apologies. I had to mute again. All right, now we got a bearish 3-bar. So let's see if it can break down here. I want to draw my threshold. Yeah, all right, we got that. So basically, this yellow box here is the 50 to 61.8% fib retracement zone. So this is where the bulls want to see it come back to. The bears want to push it below here. So we'll see if there's enough pressure, enough fear from all the people who FOMO in to push it below this box here. And then we know that we have another series of conditions that need to be met. Ideally 8 to 10 times in a row on the cool down before we can look for a reversal, but I wouldn't necessarily want to see it on this time frame. So we'll see what happens. But this is, let's measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just going to erase these. We already called the pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. There's that. So then this right here is, oops, that's the wrong one. So hopefully you guys can see this. I know it's pretty small on my screen. This is then make it or break it time for the candle. Should be. So basically this is the 10th iteration, and we'll see which level it wants to break at that point. So we can get rid of the smaller stop loss. Okay, and then ideally for the rest of the position here, we would like to see a higher low form and then a bullish confirmation after that to move this bigger stop loss up. All right, but we already locked in some profits on this impulse if you were trading it that way. So there'd be no need to move this up prematurely. So it's a good way to get out of that FOMO mindset. And that's what causes people to clip their profits early most of the time. I got about 5 more minutes here, and then I got to cut this one off, unfortunately. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm just going to watch this I want to see if we can get a break on this candle right here. So I'm going to make that one bright yellow. Either of these candles could be it, but healthy move would be on that candle. So it is after 10 o'clock. The market is kind of choosing which way it wants to go. We already have this this fail right here, so it's already let's make a break time right here. So this may be the pullback. We'll see what happens here, but either way, this top is now validated. As long as this candle doesn't push over it, I think we're fine. But there we go. So this is kind of how you can gauge that the surges in volatility when it's almost purely emotional, right? Look at that candle. And it's only 0.5%. So if I was scalping, I would already be out. Or at least locked in some profit. Ugh. Yeah, this is not looking healthy. All right, yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off here. Just wait. This is probably just going to have like a slow decay of death and then a hard sell-off once it goes below this box. At which point we'll revisit it for a bounce in the future. But for now, hopefully you guys got some value from this. Otherwise, let me also mark this out to the 128.61 level. That's kind of the safe range. Just bracket this in now because we don't need to worry about the fib extension. Yeah, so basically this is a threshold that needs to be broken to the upside. This is a threshold that needs to be broken to the downside. Anything beyond that is just speculation, and it's going to bounce around in this channel. So, excuse me. So if you're premium, we'll see you guys at 11:30. That's in just over an hour. We'll be back in the trading floor channel, and we'll get into some more deep dive stuff. So I'll see you guys then. I hope y'all have a good day. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. And I'm sorry if I'm snotty and coughing in your ear. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.